friends.
What's up, everybody?
This is Gabriel.
Hello. This is Ronja.
Hello. We have some very small news.
Bet you can't guess what it is.
If you can guess what it is before we tell you, you win a small pony and a lifetime supply of tequila. So
Wow, it's a high stakes.
comment below if you can guess what this is all about. But you have to promise us that you comment before you watch the rest of the video, because otherwise you're disqualified.
That's pretty easy to cheat.
No, I trust this. Only honest people are watching this video. So, let's take you on a little story. So last time we were all hanging out with you, what I mean by that is that last time Gabriel and I made a video together was Friday the 13th of May this year, 2022, which was, we were on a boat and we made a video. We're on this boat. We're co-facilitating a retreat called Unconventional Life in Croatia. And we also celebrated on this yacht, the super yacht, we celebrated our 5-year anniversary of us meeting in Guatemala. So we met the 13th of May, 2017 in Guatemala. If you want to watch the video about the full story about how we met, then you can, I don't know, we'll link it somewhere here. Anyways, we're not going to go into that now, but that was the last time that Gabriel and I made a video. So we had our 5-year anniversary. Yeah, it's above mediocre cool. So we celebrated our 5-year anniversary and it was a really beautiful evening. We had a lot of, after making that video, we went out for dinner with all our friends, lots of speeches, lots of celebrations. We were very celebrated by all of our friends on the retreat, on the yacht. And later that evening, Jonathan and I guided, Jonathan, who's part of the Ecstatic Awakening crew, guided an ecstatic dance on the top deck on the yacht. And then at some point at 4 in the morning, Gabriel and I, not Jonathan, Gabriel and I went back to our cabin. We accidentally conceived a baby. If you don't know how babies are conceived, you can watch a video called How is Pregnant Formed? It's very educational.
That's so good.
If you know how pregnancy is formed, you can watch that video anyway. It's one of the best videos in the whole wide world. Anyway, so like jump cut to, well, basically so we didn't know that we had conceived a baby. And if you're a spiritual chick like me, or a spiritual guy like Gabriel, you might have this idea that the moment you conceive, you just know, because there is a magical light entering into all of your cells in the conception, and so that we didn't know. So we had another week in Croatia, and then Gabriel went back here to Austin, where we are right now in the United States of America, and I stayed in Croatia for another week, and then I went to Sweden to see my family and my childhood friends. And at some point there, my period didn't come on time, and I was like, okay, it's cool, just like a day late, 2 days late, 3 days late, 4 days late. When it was 5 days late, I was staying with my friend Nina, who is a medical doctor, and I was like, Nina, can you bring home a test from work tomorrow, because I think I need to pee on a stick. And so she's like, yes, absolutely. And so I voice messaged Gabriel, and I was like, babe, I just wanted to let you know, and I'm not saying anything, but I'm just saying that my period is 5 days late, and tomorrow morning I'm gonna pee on a stick. Now Nina, who's a doctor, she brought home this test that looks like a COVID test, because it's like the professional ones, not just like one of those dip things. And basically, if you don't know how this works, if there's one line, that means there's no small person. And if there are 2 lines, It means, what does it mean?
Small person.
It means that there's a small person inside you. It's fun that the lines are still visible. So I actually made a video that morning, like after I had spoken with you and after I found out, just like, and I haven't watched it since then, so if it's a good one, I might share it at some point, but or insert here, I don't know. But basically there's a little human inside. Wait, is it recording? Yeah, okay, cool. There's a little human inside that apparently is a combination of both of us, we think. I mean, it could be any one of the guys that I've been seeing the last 5 years, but it could be Gabriel. So, so basically, and we've been like telling friends and everybody at the Ecstatic Awakening Retreat knows, and obviously everyone on the yacht knows, but we haven't made any public announcements, partly because life happens and partly because, well, I don't know, we're sharing it now anyway. And also true to form with, you know, our affinity with the number 22 minutes of bliss. Right now we are here in our apartment in Austin on the 22nd floor, and I'm right now 22 weeks pregnant. So, oh wait, we should tell the story about the Jonathan in Hawaii thing, because that's like a prophecy coming, but we just want to show you maybe like the current status. She was, well, she didn't start out the size of a blueberry. She started out much smaller than that, but at some point she was the size of a blueberry, and now she's the size of a cantaloupe. I just realized that I already gave away the gender. We were gonna do that as another reveal, but so this is the current status of the she's chilling inside there. This one.
How's it going in there?
Having little dance parties all the time. I started feeling the flutters and the movements around 14 weeks. And then about 2 weeks ago, 14th of September, what happened?
I felt a little high five. Boop, boop, hello. Boop.
14th of September, which is my childhood best friend's Elin's birthday. She, Gabriel felt her kick for the first time. And now she's having like a dance party inside all the time. And this morning when I woke up for about an hour, I was just laying in bed and she was just doing these like kicks and punches and things. Okay, so we didn't manage to keep it a suspensing thing about the gender, but yeah, so it's having, anyway, okay, this is a bit messy, but basically we've always had the intuition that our first child will be a daughter.
Yeah.
There's like a whole other
when
story.
When Ronja asked me if I wanted to have kids, I told her, I'm gonna have a daughter one day, and her name is...
But wait, we have to set the stage for that. We have to set the stage for the thing.
Stories can be told so many ways.
Oh my god, you're so bad. Okay, so
great.
no,
I'm
you're
awesome.
fantastic. Okay, well, backtrack. So 5 years ago, September 2017, Gabriel and I were out in the forest in New Mexico. This was before we were in a relationship. So we met May 2017. September 2017, we were out in the forest in New Mexico. We were hanging out by a waterfall in the evening, and then we walked to a place in the forest, and as it got dark, Gabriel made a fire in the forest, and at some point at like 3 o'clock in the morning, we were sitting under the stars by this fire. Didn't have a tent, I think we had maybe a blanket on the ground or something like that. And this was before we had said, okay, let's do this, like let's be in a relationship. This was when we were just exploring and we're like, what is this thing? And like finding out who we were for each other and what this is. So super, super, super early on, you could say. And I guess I asked Gabriel if he wanted children one day, and he told me that a couple of months or so, or a month or so before we met, he had been in a... Is there okay if I share the details? Or do you want to share?
You can share. Yeah.
Gabriel was in a...
Yeah, well, I was in an ayahuasca ceremony. It's a longer story than that even. I was on a different trajectory, living a certain life, and Spirit told me to go, as silly as that sounds, to Guatemala, and I didn't quite know why, and then I found out why shortly after, and that's where I met Ronja. And on the way there, I ended up in Mexico, and I went to a series of ayahuasca ceremonies, and ayahuasca told me a name came through, and it was three letters, which is half of the spelling of how we there's a whole journey of how we came to
like a mashup situation.
The spelling of the name that we chose, but the three letters were ILA, signifying identity, love, and abundance. So an encouragement to identify as love and abundance was the transmission from ayahuasca, and she told me that if I wanted to, I could name my daughter that, Isla.
So it was a 3-day ayahuasca retreat, and on the first day the theme was the letter I, identity, or infinity too, right? Identity/infinity. Second day, love, letter L, and then third day, abundance, letter A. And so I asked Gabriel about if he wanted children, and he told me that, and this is so funny because like, how can you even know these things? But he said very confidently, he said, he looked into my eyes and he said, my first child will be a daughter, and her name is Isla. And when he said this is, picture this again, so we're sitting there on the ground by a fire, maybe 3 a.m. in the middle of the night under the stars in this forest in New Mexico, and he tells me that his first child apparently will be a daughter, because ayahuasca told him that, and that her name is Isla. And when he told me this, I felt like this, the best way I can describe it was like this lightning bolt of energy going down through my body from the stars. Sounds very spiritual, but that's basically what it felt like. And I said to him, I said, Gabriel, that is the same name that I chose for my future daughter when I was 13. And simultaneously I had this moment of like looking up to the stars, and internally I'm like, are you orchestrating this entire thing, baby girl? Different spelling, but same pronunciation. So when I was 13, I was reading The Clan of the Cave Bear in Swedish, Grottbjörnens folk. The books, I think it's 5 books. There's like super thick, like 700, 900 pages each. And the main character in that book is called Isla, A-Y-L-A. And when I read those books, they had such an impact on me. I was like, this is what I will name my daughter one day. And so this guy that I had just met, that we're not in a relationship with yet, he's like, my first child will be a daughter, her name is Isla. And I'm like, what is even happening now? And so that is how the name happened. And then we have been on this journey kind of tuning into, well, how the flippin', like, how do we spell her name? Because he had I-L-A, for me it's A-Y-L-A.
I had a friend growing up named Ayla, who
A-Y.
spelled her name A-Y-L-A. And so that's not how I pronounce that.
Because he's American.
Yeah.
And I try to argue that you say ayahuasca, not ayahuasca, which is A-Y, and, you know, but for him, like, you pronounce A-Y-L-A, Ayla. For me, as a Swedish person, as well as a lot of countries, you would say Isla for A-Y-L-A. And for me, I-L-A in Swedish is Isla, which means to hurry or to feel stressed out and rush really fast. And I was like, there's no way I'm naming my child feeling stressed out and rushing around, like it just doesn't. So we were like, well, what do we do? And yeah, what has emerged from this place, what has emerged from these two different spellings of the same name. And I also want to like illustrate this, but the way it came to me when I saw this, when I saw the merging of them, which was when we were in Costa Rica in 2020, after a Wachuma ceremony, anyway, just in the beginning of the pandemic, anyway. So imagine, I'm going to try to do it from your perspective now. Imagine on either side are the two A's, and they're leaning inwards, kind of forming like the beginning of a pyramid. And so the two A's are on the side. The I is straight down the middle, and then on sorry, on the one side is the Y, and then the L, and so we have, I'm trying to do this mirror flipped, A, Y, I, L, A. Isla. Ayila. And so it's the merging between the two spellings. Ayila. Isla. Isla. And
which we later come to find out
means?
Well, a couple things actually.
Oh.
But in, what is it, Turkish?
In Urdu, yeah. So in Urdu, which is one of the main languages of Pakistan, because just the other day I was like, does it have a meaning? Because we're like, we invented this name, but obviously things exist before. And so Googled the meaning of Isla, and it turns out that Isla in Urdu has the meaning of the halo of the moon, or the light of the moon.
The halo of light around the moon.
The moon. And beautiful, confident, pride, and maybe in Turkish, something in Urdu, it also means God's calling. No big deal. And also when I just put it into Google Translate and selected detect language, so that Google is like, this is the language that it came out as, and I don't know how to pronounce this, but one of the main languages of Zimbabwe, it's spelled Xhosa. Don't know how you say it.
Jahosa.
Something we're not. I'm not gonna try. Something like that. Anyway, it means, Isla translates to it's creative. It's creative.
It's creative.
Not creative.
Right?
It's creative.
It's creative.
It's creative. So that's how our name came to be. So we have, yeah. So when people are like, "Do you have a name yet?" We're like, "Yeah, 5 years already." We're like, well, 5 years together, but many more years in my own life, and then coming together and everything. So yeah, she's got the name. Do you want to show the photo? This is from the last ultrasound that we had. She looks so cozy. It's like her rib cage is like made of light and everything. The kind of like halo. It almost looks like the halo of the moon around her head there. And okay, so we have to tell one more thing, which is about the prophecy of Jonathan.
Oh my god.
So when we were in November 2017, so you see the timeline. We met in May, September 2017, this happened, this conversation about her name in the forest. November 2017, we guided the Ecstatic Awakening Retreat Hawaii on Big Island, and that was Gabriel's first Ecstatic Awakening retreat, not the last. And it was one evening after we had had a massage ritual that all the participants were kind of like over on one side of the workshop space, like 40 something people, and like this kind of cuddle puddle situation, and Gabriel and I were on the other side of the room just with the two of us. And Gabriel was saying, he was asking me all these very, very sweet questions, like, is it okay? Is it okay if I'm in love with you? And I was like, yeah, that's okay. And he said some other things I'm not going to say here. And then he was like, and is it okay if maybe I want to grow old with you? And I was like, yeah, that's okay. And then he was like, and is it okay if, and then he paused, and I was like, what? And he was like, no. And then he hesitated, and I was like, what is it? And he's like, is it okay if maybe one day I want you to be the mother of my children? And I said, yeah, that's okay. And then we were like, oh, what does this mean? And we're like, should we tell the people? And then so we called over to all the people that were like on the other side of the room. We were like, hey guys. They're like, what? We were like, we have an announcement. And they're like, yeah, what? So we said to them, we were like, we just decided that maybe one day we want to have kids together. And then they're like, whoa, that's super cool. And then somebody said, can we be invited for the delivery? And then Jonathan said, and this was Jonathan's first ecstatic awakening retreat as well, and he was like, yeah, and for the conception. And we were like, haha, super classic Jonathan, super funny, like asking to be invited for the conception. And now life is so trippy in just how it unfolds. And he wasn't in the room, he wasn't like in our cabin, obviously, with us. That would be super weird. That night, but he was on the yacht that evening, 4.5 years after he had made this request to be invited for the conception, the accidental conception. And so the prophecy of Jonathan being like, can we be invited for the conception in 2017, and then fast forward May 2022, it all came true. So just a lesson, and if you wish for something and you believe in it and you let it go, it might just happen in an unexpected way. Is there anything else you want to share with?
Yeah, I think something just about how this process is, I don't feel like I'm in control, you know, like there's, you look at the whole story, you know, and the unfolding, and it just very much feels like there's something bigger working through that that I'm just here to show up and be of service to.
Something smaller working through.
So, yeah. It's all about her now. And us too, but she needs to be the focus, you know.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy still. It's like childbirth and pregnancy is the most normal thing in the world. Like if you look at how many humans exist on the planet. And still I'm having this experience at least 15 times per day when I'm like, holy shit, there's a child inside me. Just that it's so incredibly trippy. And when I started feeling her flutters and her movements, and now when it's like many times per day, it's like kicks and punches and high fives, and just like there's an actual small child. If you're if you're a woman watching this, if you've ever been pregnant, or if you're a guy or a girl or non-binary, whatever, you can imagine what it's like to have a human being inside your body doing moves. It's like, it feels incredibly human, very, very normal, and at the same time it's like the trippiest like alien takeover experience. Not alien, but like, it's like there's an actual human being inside me right now who is gonna come out and be her own entire new person, her own entire inner universe, infinite consciousness downloaded into a brand new body. And just like, yeah, we're so curious to meet her. You know, we've been feeling her like in the field since 2017, and I feel like this feels complete for now. I am learning a lot through this whole process, and oh, there she kicked. Or it's hard to say kick. Like kick is like the kind of collection name for like when small people move inside, but it's like dance moves, high fives, punches, kicks, stretches, morning stretches, sunset stretches. Karate chop. And wait, what was I gonna say?
Learning.
Oh yeah, I'm learning a lot. So I feel that for other videos, I will most likely share just about what I'm discovering. I'm studying hypnobirthing. I'm learning just a lot about the intelligence of a woman's body, and how the uterus works, and the fetal expulsive reflex, and the relaxation response, and the different cycles that a woman can be in when she's in childbirth, and breath and relaxation, and also just like things that I've like wasn't expecting being pregnant, like burning nipples and other like phenomenon and things, and just like how, yeah, and also just like things that for anyone who is about to become pregnant or is pregnant, or just like geeking out on things, that, you know, if you know me, you know that I love geeking out on things. Like I love learning, like an obsessed person about things, and obviously that's like applying to this more than anything ever. And so I feel like there's going to be videos where I just share about what I'm discovering, and what feels really nourishing, and what I'm learning, and all the new insights that this journey is bringing with it. Thank you for being with us on this journey. Feel free to share with us anything that you feel inspired to, how you're doing, and just any spontaneous anything, or if you want to send a little message to our small human, then you're welcome to as well. Anything else you want to say in closing of it?
We're excited to meet you.
Yeah. Stop. Yeah. Baby girl's been calling the shots for a while now. Oh. Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, bye for now. Okay, we're ending this transmission, this love note, in 3, 2, 1. Oh no, I wasn't recording.